ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ welcome back to Youth Nation and today we are with one and only DJ Limelight, one of the finest DJ, producer, presenter and talent manager from East London. Welcome, brother.
How you doing, brother? Good to meet you.
Me too.
Thank you, brother, man. Nice to meet you finally. Thanks for reaching out to me. You know what I'm saying? It feels good to connect with someone out in India. So yeah, man, big ups to you each and every time, my bro.
We are blessed to have you here, bro. So tell me about the story behind the name DJ Limelight.
Yeah, man. It's a very boring story, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Like, Limelight came from the fact that I feel like a DJ's job is to shed the limelight on artists, on producers, on talent that are creating music. And at the time when I was getting into DJing, there was a lot of tracks coming out from rappers where they were using the word limelight in their lyrics. And I just felt like it was just a very relatable word in hip hop. And it's a word that is universal as well. It doesn't matter what country you're from or how you look. I feel like the word was very, very simple and very, very understanding. And I think it's worked quite well for me.
Really good, really good. So we found that you had a show called Fresh Wave Sessions. So a lot of like new talents are coming up on that show, and you made a platform for those underground artists to present in the worldwide industry, to show their face in the worldwide industry. So what was the story behind that actually? Well, what was the thinking at that time that I should do a show for the people who are like not getting that much of attention from the people, from the audience? And actually, what was the story behind that? We need to know.
Yeah, to start with, like, obviously, I started my game or my hustle doing mixtapes, doing CDs back in the day. And that was always about showcasing and giving the limelight to new artists and giving them the opportunity to get the exposure. So then when I got into radio, I started doing a freestyle platform called Hype on the Mic, which is for rappers to come on the radio, to jump on the radio and spit bars. And then Fresh Waves now is an even more underground platform for even newer artists and underground artists to then jump on the radio. Is one thing on Hype on the Mic, but then Fresh Wave is like the step just before that. So it's like they come through to the studio, they jump onto the studio and they spit bars. And a lot of rappers that have jumped on Fresh Waves, some of them actually like that's like their first platform. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like giving the raw underground talent an opportunity to get a professional freestyle video and setup on their freestyle. Do you know what I'm saying?
That was very good initiative. Share some experiences that you shared at that time during that show with artists that are coming up, or some artists you were shocked to hear him.
Yeah, there's been some dope artists. You know, my good friend actually, M.R, who went absolutely viral during Christmas time for his song Turn Red. You know, he's always jumped on my freestyle platforms and dropped freestyles for me, and every time he's done that, it's gone viral. So that's been an honor having him on there. You know, back in the day, I had like people like Odd Ads, who no longer makes music actually. He's gone into the business and into the jewelry game, but he's a good friend of mine. I've had people like Headie 1 and RV from OFB, you know, big in the drill game right now, you know, globally recognized, you know, especially with Headie 1. And then even with the BBC, like doing the freestyles on there, I've had some legendary freestyles on there, like with Gigs and Young Ads, to name a few. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's always been a part of my journey as a DJ, for sure.
Wow. Describe the role that music plays in your life outside of your professional work, like your professional career, outside of your professional career. How did the music influence your life?
I think for me, music outside of work, like I like to listen to different types of music. So I feel like it's a language in itself that can connect dots with different people around the world as well. So for me personally, it's definitely therapy. It's definitely, I feel like it's therapeutic listening to music, but also listening to different types of music, different languages, different sounds. But I never stop working. So when I am listening to music, I'm always listening with a business head. So I'm always thinking like, okay, cool, what can this do for me in terms of my business? And that's the truth of it. Like, I love music and I do listen to different genres and different sounds, but ultimately it does always go back down to the business.
Wow. Like, do you have any rituals or habits related to the music, like how you create it, how you make it, or anything like that?
I mean, I haven't really produced in a little while, but I'm back on it now. I'm working on some new music. Obviously, I've produced a couple of records before when it comes to UK rap.
Yeah.
A couple of Desi records, you know, shouts to my boy Sidhu. I produced a couple of records with him. I've been getting back in the studio now with my boy Shay. Check out Shay, man. He's sick. Like, he's one of my favorite producers in the UK. So we've been working on stuff. So we're looking to release some music together later on this year. But when it comes to like the music that I want to release as a DJ and as Limelight, I think I always think about the clubs. I always think about the party. So it could be a hard rap record, but it still has a party element to it. That's where my head's at now. So it's like, I need to make music for the clubs so that when I'm in the club DJing, it's reflective of the music that I've made in the studio.
Wow. So what's the biggest highlight of your career?
Biggest highlight? I've been doing this for a very long time, right? So I think there's been different stages in my career. So like, even just doing the mixtapes back in the day, like, you know, I'm talking like 20 odd years ago when I was mad young and trying to get into the game. The mixtape era was a big achievement for me because there was no blueprint in the UK for it. And there was other DJs in the UK doing mixtapes, but then just connecting with so many artists, getting my name out there, that was a sense of achievement. Then obviously holding down the radio, like being on BBC Radio for as long as I have is an achievement in itself. I think in 2024, I think being able to now share my wisdom and my experiences and even my skills with new talent. So I manage DJ Sims, who's obviously another young DJ that's coming up. This is a young female DJ that I took under my wing from when she was 17. I've been managing her for like 4 years now. So seeing what she's becoming and how big she's become online and even in the clubs, it makes me proud. And I also manage C China, who's a female rapper. She's only released 2 records, but what she's done with the 2 records is absolutely insane online. And we've got like new records to release. And the fact that I can work with someone like that and help them, you know, get through without having to rely on certain things and, you know, build that unit for young people to come through and work in a safer environment is very important to me. And I'm very proud of myself for doing that.
Wow. So who was your inspiration actually? And if you ever got a chance to inspire someone, whom he or she will be?
Yeah, I think first and foremost, I think I'm already inspiring a lot of people, and I think that's reflective in someone like DJ Sims, and you can see that. But like, from my end, when I was a young person coming up in the game and trying to get into the game, I was inspired by the culture in general. So like, just being around people that make music, that do hip hop music, rap music, people that making grime at the time. Like, grime was the biggest genre for street music at the time. One of my biggest influences, or one of the people that played a big part in my career early on, was Ruthless Records. You know, my good friend Usman, like, he's like a big bro to me. You know, he always guided me and helped me. And a lot of people might not even know about Ruthless Records in the UK anymore because it's such a long time ago. But, you know, Ruthless played a big part in my career. And, you know, I had the blessings of working with all the UK rappers back then. So shouts to Usman from Ruthless, you get me?
Like, if you could create a dream music project having artists from different genre or maybe a different era, who would you include and why?
What if I was to make a collaboration with like a bunch of artists? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Are we saying dead or alive? Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. I'd definitely say Tupac. Him doing a song with Sidhu moosewala, that would have been like crazy. Can you just imagine that? Like, that for me is mad. Bringing it back to UK rap, I'd say Blade Brown is one of my favorite rappers in the UK of all time. Blade Brown, K-Trap as well.
K-Trap, yeah.
Seeing them man link up with some US rappers, I'd say, like the Young Jeezys, when Young Jeezy was hot at that time, like that kind of era.
Yeah.
I'd say the ultimate collab for me which we will never get to see or experience is, I'd say Sidhu linking up with Tupac and Nipsey.
Wow.
You can imagine that, right? Like them three on a mad production, like a Dr Dre beat or something.
Exactly. What's the importance of community and collaboration within the music field? Like, we got to know that a lot of people are just, the teams do break at this point of time. And we all are like aware about it. Okay, people come, people go. We don't want to take it too deep, but what do you think actually? Like, how did the community, how did the group, and the collaborations, the projects work all together in the music industry?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I can answer that. So like, I think collaborations, artists connecting and producers connecting with different artists is very important. It's always been very important. Anyway, I think, especially when it comes to street rap, like hip hop and that culture, like people coming from certain areas, people being from certain places and representing certain areas, then connecting with different areas through collaboration is a big thing. But I think the more people collaborate and the more that artists connect with each other, the more magic happens, as we can hear and as we can see. Like, and I think that's something that should never stop. And I like the fact that it's become so global now. Like, we've got artists from the UK connecting with US, connecting with India, connecting with K-pop, connecting with Latin. It's all kind of getting mixed into one melting pot that everybody kind of appreciates now. So yeah, man, it's essential, and it's very important.
Like, how do you see Punjabi music in the next 2 or 3 years?
Punjabi music for me is growing at a big, like, massive rate, right? But like, for me, the music, like, to me, the sound is more important than anything else. So it's like the fact that the music that's being made and being released is so like connected to like commercial music, connected to hip hop, connected to Afro beats. Like, I feel like people like the Diljit, Dosanjh, Karan, Aujlas, and these caliber of artists, they're crossing so many different levels, and they're opening so many doors for everybody else to come through, that like in the next few years it can only go in one direction, which is way bigger, more commercial, kind of universally accepted and understood as well. And I can see that happening. It's a really exciting time for Desi music, for Punjabi music globally, and it's definitely a great time.
So you mentioned Diljit Dosanjh and Karan Aujla. Like, if you ever got a chance to do a track with them, both of them, what genre it would be?
I think the stuff that you hear them doing, I think with Diljit, what I really like about his recent music is that there's some that have like quite big Afrobeat influences on the production, and I think that really works with him, and it's such a vibe. He brings such a vibe to the table. I think Karan Aujla, he can go more hip hop route. He can go down the hip hop route. You know, I really like his song with YG, Gangsta, because for me that song there is just, it's just catchy. It's still authentic. I like the collaboration. I think it really works. So I think that's the route that Karen would go. Do you know what I'm saying?
Wow. So if you have to do a song with one rapper, one female artist, and one male singer, whom would you pick?
So one rapper in 2024, probably Central C, because I think he's sick. I think Central C is flying the flag for the UK, but he's also so sick and he's so authentic. I don't think you're ever going to see another Central C ever again. So yeah, Central C for the rappers. Female artists, I'd say C China. C China for me because I manage her and I know that she's sick. She's very authentic as well. She's very new and exciting. So I'd put her in that mix as well. I think she'd kill it. And for male singer, I really like the new kid that's popping right now by the name of Four Bats. He's killing it right now. He's got this new record. He's got a remix with Drake. Check that out. I think that brother right there is sick, man.
And if you talk about the Punjabi music scene, whom would you pick?
Okay, cool. So if I was to look into the Punjabi scene, I'd say Sukha for me, for a vocalist.
Like, let's do a collaboration. One rapper, one female artist, and one male artist in one single track.
Yeah, we'll have to put Sukha in there as a singer, I guess. Because for me, Sukha's like the new kid on the block. He's got a lot of heat on him. He shut down his UK show, so I'd put him in there. Female-wise, Girl Age Actor, because she never stops working. I think Girl Age Actor's sick. She never stops working, like new track, non-stop.
Yeah.
Rapper wise, when it comes to Desi rappers right now, it's a tough one. There's a lot of sick Desi rappers out here. Krishna is one of my favorites. He's one of my guys. I'd say, who else is there, man? Shouts to Caps from the UK, 5-star Caps from Birmingham. Check him out as well. He's sick. Probably the most popping South Asian rapper in the UK right now is probably Caps. So yeah, Caps.
Really good, man. Really good. You might have traveled to different locations in your whole career. What would be your best locations and your least favorite location, we can say?
My favorite locations, to be honest, I like everywhere I've been to. I don't think I've had a bad experience. I've performed all over the world, like you said, like been out to Spain several times, been all over Europe. Kenya I did a few times, did Dubai many times, even played in India before, been in America before, do you know what I'm saying? And done all over the UK, different cities. So it's like every single place is unique to itself, and I think it's always been a blessing to play at different places. I'd say I can't pick one place as my favorite, but I think at the moment, big up to Marrakesh Concierge, because we do like an event out in Morocco at the moment with Marrakesh Concierge, so that's going really well. That's popping off. So we've got more events happening in Morocco real soon, so keep an eye out for that.
Wow. So if you had to remake 2 songs, what would they be? In back in the times, let's keep it to maybe Yamla Jat or take it to Chamkila.
Yeah, that's a tough question, man. There's too many tunes, there's too many classics, too many bangers. I think so many classics have been remade as well, do you know what I'm saying? And have been reproduced and have been sampled. So me personally, I'm a big fan of making fresh new sounds, innit? So I personally wouldn't want to touch certain songs from back in the day. Not about ruining the legacy. It's kind of like having a classic movie and then remaking the movie and it doesn't hit the same. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm all about newness and making fresh new music.
Top 3 rappers you have met in your career, like throughout your career, you have met the top 3 rappers you would consider.
Yeah, probably Jay-Z. Jay-Z is one of my favorite rappers. Obviously, I met him before. I'd say Drake and Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne for me is my favorite rapper of all time.
Wow. It's like if you ever got a chance to start a show from some newcomer or some new talent, whom he or she will be?
I don't know. I'm always trying to listen to new artists. I'm always trying to hear new artists. You're supposed to tell me.
So, if you could throw a dinner party with 3 influential figures from the music industry, who would you invite and what would you discuss in that party? The 3 most influential artists, the 3 most influential figures.
Figures, yeah, like, so business people, like, this one's maybe a bit controversial to some people, but I'd say Kim Kardashian, because I think that she's a big businesswoman. Like, she knows exactly what she's achieved and what she's capable of. And this is even more controversial. I'd probably say Kanye West. I know obviously them two are broken up, but like, yeah, Kanye West, I feel like people like that can definitely share a lot of wisdom and a lot of experiences and knowledge, and I think, he's played a huge part in everybody's careers in some way, whether it's just from a listener perspective or people that know him. And the third person, that's an interesting one. I'd probably say Lil Wayne again, because I like Lil Wayne, and I think, remember, like, Lil Wayne, I feel like is a bit underrated. I think he's brought through a lot of big acts over the years. He brought through people like Nicki Minaj and Drake and Tyga, to name a few. And yeah, I think he's big. He's a big influence as well.
Like, throughout your career, have you ever had the thought in your mind ki I should sing actually, or I should write something, I should do some rap type shit?
Nah, man. Me, never, nah. It's not for me.
Like, what was the first ever instrument you played?
Nah, I played the violin back in primary school, but I only lasted 2 lessons because I accidentally broke the violin and then the teacher got angry with me, so I didn't go back.
Okay.
I dropped it by accident and then she lost her temper and I was like, nah, forget this, man. This is too crazy for me. And then I didn't really have an interest in instruments or music. I think that's the only regret I have in life is that I didn't learn to play piano, because I think piano is such a sick instrument.
Wow.